Hello and welcome to Movies with My Dad, the podcast where I, film critic Tina Cacadelis, take my dad Stratis to the movies. This week, we saw Maria, directed by Pablo Larraín, starring Angelina Jolie. Join us on the spoiler-filled car ride home.
Well, Tina, what did we just spend the last 2 hours?
Yes.
I guess I should start driving, huh?
Unless you wanted to take your nap now, because I didn't hear you snore once during the movie.
My eyes were closed for quite a bit of it.
Oh!
So, what did we see?
You would do that disrespect to a Greek?
There were no Greeks in the film.
We saw Maria.
Who was...
Maria Callas?
Callas.
I know they said it 8,000 times, but I still was like, not confident.
So Angelina Jolie recreating the...
American opera singer.
I don't know if she's American. I know they said they were born here, but I don't think she lived any time. I don't know. We'd have to look it up, but I believe she is of Greek citizenship.
Yeah, so your
like
people.
It matters. Anyways, so she is a 1940s, 50s, 60s famous opera singer for those that have no idea. I have vague memories of her as a child.
This does seem like the thing that Papu would vibe with.
That's your grandfather.
Yeah. I wasn't going to translate it. Just like they didn't translate in that movie.
Hey, we're not supposed to do...
I will bleep it. Again, I am in charge of editing.
This is a family podcast, Tina.
It is a family podcast.
No bleeping required.
Okay. So I've had 2 bleeps this whole time.
Okay.
So you hated it.
I didn't hate it. I mean, Well, what did you think?
I loved it.
Oh, you loved it.
This is what cinema is for, baby.
See?
Yeah.
I knew this was made for someone. And I can appreciate the artistry of the film. Mm-hmm. I can appreciate
Angelina Jolie's out of this world performance.
Her portrayal, I think, was probably spot on because I think Maria was a diva. She defined
all of that lip
role.
Work and cheek acting that she was doing. It's crazy. Crazy.
But it is not my kind of film.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's deeply disturbing, so I guess you like that.
Deeply disturbing? I mean, it's depressing.
It's this woman who spent her entire career singing tragedies in the opera, literally lived a tragedy from beginning to end. And I had no idea she was in Athens or in Greece during the occupation of the Nazi occupation, World War II. And the implication was, I think it's pretty clear, right? Her mother was selling out her 2 daughters, Maria being one of them, as prostitutes to the German officers.
Yes.
So with that start...
I knew nothing about her. And I also came into this movie knowing that I wasn't going to get like a truly historical, beat by beat recreation of somebody's life. Because Pablo...
I think you got a very close sense of her life, though.
Right, but it's not... What I really liked about this and what I really liked about Spencer is that neither...
Oh, you told me he did Spencer, the Diana
Kristen
film?
Stewart, Princess Diana film.
Okay.
Is that neither is trying to be definitive, this is what historically happened, but it's more so just putting you in the minds of these women who have led very intense lives of public scrutiny and just letting you see and breathe and be in it for 2 hours.
Yes, but
You don't want to?
No, it's fine. I did not have much of compassion for her.
Why?
Not compassion, that's not the right word. I didn't connect with her. She's not somebody I really want in my life.
I think because she was so far into the world of the diva, of the persona, that it is hard to connect with her on a basic human level. Because even when she is trying and doing these hallucinatory interviews,
she was taking a lot of drugs.
Yes, yeah, but she wants to make an autobiography, and essentially conjures up an interviewer and a filmmaker as like a means of like her parsing through her life again. But even when she's doing that, you really get the sense that it's still a performance.
Actually, I'd like to know, was that use of that imaginary interviewer and all the other people that were part of her imagination, is that based off of what her staff
maybe
told to a biographer at some point? Or was this a construct of the director and the writer? Because it was a beautiful way to tell the story.
Yeah.
But whether...
Some of it irritated me. Like they had a lot of like fake archival stuff come in, which I didn't need. I liked it in the beginning in the montage, but then every time we got like the clapboard saying like what act we were in, I was like, I don't necessarily need this.
I thought you meant you mean the actual archival footage, like not the clapboard.
The fake archival footage that they made.
Right, but I feel like they recreated some of that.
Some of it, yeah. I didn't mind that, and that was mostly in the beginning. But then, like, whenever we had it so that there was, like, that you could see the side of the film,
right.
It just didn't feel necessary, and it felt like a little, I don't know, it took me out of it for a bit. Because otherwise, I was, like, in this beautiful world of...
Oh, I see. You wanted to stay in her... whether it was reality or her delusion, you just wanted to stay in that Maria Callas world.
Yeah, I didn't need the wall breaking because it was already inherently built in to like the way that she talked to the filmmaker in it, like named after the drug. Like as soon as she was like, yeah, the filmmaker named after the drug that I just took is coming, I was like, okay, great. So I know that he's not real. It just felt like a little hand-holdy in a way that I didn't need it to be, because the rest of it did its job in like a very subtle but in like obvious way.
That is true.
Subtle but obvious, you know what I mean? I didn't need to be hit over the head with it, which is what I felt like it was doing. And then it just like took me out.
I wonder why he chose to introduce that, because it wasn't a documentary. It wasn't pretending to be, unless the concept was that this is the film. Oh, how about that? She had an imaginary filmographer there, right? Maybe this was that footage. So it really was, right, but it really was in her head. I just didn't need that. This was what she saw in her head.
I know, but I didn't need it because, like, that
I like the graininess of it, though.
I like the graininess of it, but, like, and there were other parts that were grainy, but it just, like, that particular style of seeing the side of the film strip that was different visually than everything else that we had seen, it just was a disconnect for me. I'm not going to spend forever on this grain. It feels pointless. However, now, who am I supposed to root for Best Actress?
Because?
Her? Demi Moore? Mikey Madison from Minora? It's going to be a bloodbath in my heart.
I'm sorry, Tina.
Oh, man.
So, I feel like this, our episode here is not going to be full of a lot of...
Why, because you're so tired?
No, it's not tired. There's not a lot of excitement in this movie to get
I was jazzed. I'm pumped.
Well, then you need to be jazzing away.
I was. I think I just think it's such a really interesting way of... I think biopics are exhausting. I think that we don't do them well a lot of the time. We as the collective people. I just think that I don't know. I feel very torn because, like your wife, my mother, I do believe that films that bill themselves as historically accurate should be historically accurate.
Absolutely.
But movies like this and movies like Spencer are not billing themselves as like the end-all be-all about Maria and Diana. They're like...
Spencer's felt a little more like a biopic.
No.
Spencer's... You don't think so?
No. When she swallowed the necklace...
Oh, wait.
...of pearls...
Sorry, I'm confusing Spencer with The Crown. That's the same topic.
Entirely different everything else, though.
Other than that, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I would argue The Crown is going for historical accuracy. Spencer, Kristen Stewart swallowing a necklace of pearls at a dinner table.
Did I see that movie?
I don't know. Did you see that movie?
Maybe not.
I think I was not living here at the time that it came out.
Okay.
So I really like that. Like, and I think that that's the way that we should be making biopics, because it's just such a frustrating genre, and I'm very nervous about the Bruce Springsteen biopic that is currently shooting, because I feel like it's gonna be very stiff and like not wanting to show the person at the center of it as an actual human person.
What, you're not worrying about the Bob Dylan one that's coming out?
I can't say that I'm like a huge Bob Dylan fan. I have like 1 or 2 songs on my... That is a red light.
I was waiting for it.
Whew. And I just thought it looked beautiful. And I thought like Paris in the Fall, he captured beautifully, and the colors. I would like to rewatch it 1,000,000 times. I really, really enjoyed it.
Well, so you are the audience for it.
I am the audience for it. And I knew going in.
And you know who the other audience for this is?
Greeks.
Well, specifically,
Your father.
my cousin,
Oh.
Stratos.
You think he's listening?
Stratos, I don't know, but we'll have to send him this episode. He is, come on, he's the man that took, you were what, 13?
No.
8?
Yeah.
He took you and your sister and pulled you aside when we went to visit Greece and talked to you for like an hour.
Into the basement.
Oh, it was in the basement?
Yeah, it was weird. But like in a nice way, if you send this to him.
I mean, he has family. It's fine. But he spent an hour telling you.
It felt very long
I'm
as
sure
a
it
child.
felt like 20 hours.
Yeah.
Telling you about Robert Frost, was it?
Yes, it was Robert Frost.
And he has deep feelings like you do about these kind of...
He does, and he sent a bunch of DVDs.
About Robert Frost?
No.
Oh, the movies, yes.
Oh my God, a deer.
Oh, this is a 4-pointer.
What?
The buck. See all the points he's got on his 3 points?
6.
Well, 3 in each side? I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it is a 6-point buck.
I don't... Oh, is that another one? No, that's a sign.
That's a sign. Yes, deer do not have reflective
No, I was
neon
looking
colors.
at that little one.
Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Speaking of the Greeks, though, what did you think about the one line where Aristotle was like, the Greeks and death are very familiar with each other?
I believe she said it. Aristotle did not say that.
I think she said it.
She said it. Yeah, you said...
No, I think he said it.
No, she said it in the...
It doesn't matter.
In the courtyard. So do you know who Aristotle Onassis is?
Related to Jackie Onassis?
I mean, she's took his name.
I know,
yes.
yeah. Married.
They did marry, but do you know who he is? Do you know anything about him?
Aristotle was like a really famous philosopher, you know.
Yes, that one was. The Onassis one, not so famous about philosophy.
I don't know, he was waxing a lot.
So you don't have any clue who he is at all?
No, not
in
a
history?
clue. I know nothing about these people.
So he marries after Kennedy is shot.
Right.
Jackie marries
I knew that.
Aristotle Onassis.
Yeah.
Onassis was a ridiculously wealthy Greek shipping magnate.
Okay, I also got that from the movie.
I mean, he owned, I don't know how many ships and would move the world's products around. I mean, he was so well known. Evidently, sadly for him, and I haven't done my job here.
You've not done your job, but a lot of Greek knowledge. You didn't even teach us the language.
Hey, you can say Opa.
I can say Opa and Christos Anesti.
Very good, see?
But that's not from you. That's from my Big Fat Greek Wedding. So you
I
really
introduced you
have
to
failed.
my Big Fat Greek Wedding.
That is Tom
That is
Hanks
true.
and Rita Wilson introduced us all to my Big Fat Greek Wedding.
All right.
So how do you feel about it? The quote about Greeks and death.
I already forgot what it was.
Something about they're very familiar with each other.
Something about? I think
I don't remember the exact.
Again, Greeks and tragedy go together, right? But I'd rather not be that familiar with death if I can avoid it.
But all Greek people are, they said. You don't think that that's true? I'm asking. You're more of a Greek than I am.
Yeah, that's true. You're not as much.
I'm watered down by the Polish.
I'm not that connected to death.
Okay. Well.
I'm not as tragic.
Well, maybe therefore I am more connected to Greeks Because I do love a tragedy.
Well...
When it's on the screen and has nothing to do with me.
Okay.
The Christmas lights are up.
Yes, it's Christmas time already in early November.
Okay, so we're approaching home. You clearly did not have a great time, but you also didn't nap.
I didn't nap, and I didn't have a bad time. I appreciated for the artistry of what it's like when I go to an art
opera?
museum. No, I won't. That's one of the things I've still not been to is a full-up opera.
You've kind of been to one now.
There's
a lot of singing.
But it's like going to an art museum, and I can appreciate the effort and the thought that went into a piece of art. But I don't really connect with that piece of art. I didn't feel like I connected with this piece of art. But I do absolutely believe it's a piece of art, and I can see how it moves people. The same way she was able to move people through her voice in opera. And I like Aristotle Onassis, who said, I don't really like opera.
No, I mean, yeah. But also, man, Angelina Jolie's performance is something stupendous. I don't know what Pablo does as a director, but I feel like this is like a career high for Angelina Jolie, and I feel like it was a career high for Kristen Stewart in Spencer. Like, both of them. I just feel like incredible performances that... It's beautiful.
All right, what are we rating this one on?
Arias.
Ooh, very good, Tina.
Ooh, she does the New York Times crossword puzzle.
As a piece of cinema art...
Oh, my goodness. Here we go.
I'll give it a 4.
Okay.
But for me personally, 2.5.
Oh! 4.5.
4.5?
Yeah.
Wow, Tina.
It really is one of my favorites of the year.
Okay.
This and The Substance. The duality of man.
Good night, Tina.
Good night. That's it for this week's episode of Movies with My Dad. You can find all of our episodes online at movieswithmydad.com. You can also send us an email at movieswithmydadpod@gmail.com. My dad is desperate to hear from you. You can find me, Tina, on Twitter at Captain Ameripug or letterboxed at Tina_DOCX. You can find my dad at our local Home Depot. Tune in next week when we head back to the movies.